here's the scary part. Even if you've been building strong deliverability, strong sender reputation by sending relevant content, there are still hidden traps that undo everything you've done and make you land in the spam folder. Most brands don't realize that they're making these mistakes until it's too late and they don't know how to recover. Today, I'm going to show you what these traps are and exactly how to dodge them so that your emails can keep landing in the inbox and keep bringing you revenue, of course. Okay, so mistakes to avoid. Number one, segmentation when you are sending campaigns. So inside of the exclusions tab, let me just show you. Okay, I don't care who you're sending to, that's your choice, but make sure to exclude people that bounced, people that did not engage in the last 120 days, bot emails, which I'm going to show you in a second, and unengaged or burner profiles. Let me show you the segment definitions for each one of these so that you can build them yourself. So go to lists and segments, just create these segments by clicking here and make the segments I am going to show you. So first of all, bounced. This is the definition. So bounced email is greater than 2 over all time, or bounced email is at least once in the last 30 days. Save the segment. Next one, unengaged. So 120 day unengaged. Let me show you what this one looks like. Opened email 0 times in the last 120 days and clicked email 0 times in the last 120 days. Save the segment. Next one, bot emails. For this segment, you need to exclude about 50 domains which have been identified to be bot or spam traps. And I'm going to attach a Google Sheet that contains the domain names of each domain you can see here, so that you can simply copy and paste it. All right, this one is quite long. All right, the link to the Google Sheet will be inside of the description, or you can just contact us and we can clone this segment over to your account if you want to be faster. Next, after bot segment, you have unengaged and burner profiles. So this would already be excluded automatically because we've got the 120 day unengaged excluded. But let me show you anyways, just so that you can see what I mean by burner accounts. So create a segment. This is the definition. So received email is at least 10 times over all time, and opened email 0 times over all time, and clicked email 0 times over all time, and created is at least 30 days ago. All right, save. Make sure whenever you send a campaign, these are excluded. Apart from stuff like Black Friday, I would say increase the time window of the 120 day unengaged to 180 day unengaged. Very easy to do. Let me show you in 5 seconds. So you're just going to clone the segment, and then simply change the definition from 120 to 180 days. Okay, if you want to be even more aggressive, you can do 360 days. That's only for Black Friday. Okay, so do that. So yeah, mistake number one, make sure you avoid not excluding bad segments. These are the bad segments that you need to exclude. Next, text to image ratio. So this is what I mean by text to image ratio, right? So when I say text to image ratio, I mean you can have a lot of images inside of your email, right? The issue becomes if you have like 4 images, but only like a little bit of text, the message might seem suspicious to some ESPs because in the olden days, scammers used to embed their text on images so that it's not detectable by spam filters. And because of this, if you have too many images and little to no text, it seems suspicious. So to counteract this, you can simply have a hefty footer that has a lot of text, but you need to be careful that the text inside of that footer doesn't do more damage than good. So what I've done is I've created a template for you. I've run it through the spam checker. Okay, I'm going to give this to you. So just fill in your sender email address, add lots of text about your brand here, like I did for this brand. As you can see, just some generic text about the brand, what you guys sell, the solutions you offer. And it needs to be in like a 8-pixel font size because this is not supposed to be red. So yeah, it can be 8 pixels and a little bit gray. Don't make it completely invisible, just a little bit gray and 8 pixels. And run it through the spam checker so that you don't have any spam words. Save it as a universal asset so that you can reuse this inside of every email. This will fix the text to image ratio issue. Next, you have engagement rates. So even if you're sending to the right people, you've got this text to image ratio nailed. Your deliverability is good. Like there isn't your branded sending domain has a good reputation. But if your content is not good, it's going to bring down your reputation. So some tips on how to increase engagement rates. By engagement rates, I mean open rates and click rates. Here are a few quick ways to improve them. So improving open rates, number one, make sure you've watched the deliverability videos that I've made so that low open rates isn't being caused by deliverability issues. Next, split test send times, all right? If you are the brand owner, I don't know why you're not doing this, apart from the fact that you're too busy, then okay. But split test 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. There's going to be a video on how to split test campaigns and send times. So split test, find the best send time for your list, for your audience, and use that. Next, you've got subject lines. Quick little crash course, not even crash course, just some examples of subject lines that you should be using. So the point of the subject line is just to get the email open. So try and be intriguing, try and use these types of subject lines. Curiosity subject lines, you can see some examples here. Bizarre subject lines, contrast, challenge existing dogma within the subject line. Use numbers, authority and proof, straight benefit. These examples, this exact list of examples, I've taken it from Ecom Mike Gavin. Shout out to him. Go and follow him on Twitter. And yeah, just make sure your subject lines are not shit. They're not boring. Don't give away everything that's inside of the email within the subject line. Make it a bit more intriguing. The only exception would be when you're doing sales like Black Friday. Then you can be a bit more straightforward for subject lines. Then to improve click rate, you need to make sure that the subject line and the email content actually matches, because if the subject line, okay, has a high open rate, but if the email content doesn't match the email or the subject line, it's going to seem clickbaity. You're going to lose trust, which is going to lead to people not clicking and actually hating you. So avoid that. Make sure the subject line and the email content matches. Then when it comes to your CTAs, right, don't make the CTAs feel like work. For example, you've just launched a new skincare course to launch alongside your skincare product. Instead of saying register for the course, which seems like work, like a register, you're going to have to fill out a form or whatever. Instead, use something that just gives an image of it being more easy. So just take me to the course, right? That's a better CTA than register for the course. Another example, CTA 1, buy now. It's a common CTA, we also use it, but in cases where you can make the CTA about the benefit, use that instead. So get clear skin for a skincare brand would work. Yeah, and then CTA on top. Try and have the CTA, first of all, try and have multiple CTAs so that they are easily accessible, but try and have at least one CTA on the top of the email. Of course, not every single email, because for some emails, you might want to, especially educational emails, you might want to have content first before showing the button, instead of it just being awkwardly placed within 2 paragraphs. But try and have the CTA on as on top as you can, so that it's not buried all the way down. Okay. And again, A/B test sometimes this also has an effect on click rate. So do some quick tips on improving open rates and click rates so that you don't keep blaming deliverability. Then you've got sending frequency. Keeping a good sender reputation is basically like a credit score. You need to show proof that you are getting engagement, right? So don't be one of those brands that only sends during sales. Try to send at least 4 emails to the majority of your email list every month. And yeah, pretty simple. Don't go to the extreme where you're emailing everyone every day, but also don't be on the other extreme where you're only emailing a few times a year. And yeah, follow these. Do not make these mistakes. Make sure you have watched the deliverability videos, and then you should see results.